Alright, so guys, I done left my wife's job. We went to a little Vietnamese spot and got some fried chicken. It was very, very delicious. And of course, I didn't eat too much because the last thing you want to do is be have a full stomach while riding, you know. If you're anything like me, you get a full stomach, you start to get sleepy, time to take a nap. So I avoid eating heavy foods, or if I do eat, I don't eat a lot, just enough to kill the hunger. Then after that, you know, I just move on. So that's how I roll. I noticed while I was riding, my camera had started moving and went to start pointing toward the sky. I reviewed the footage and I'm like, you know something, it's such a pretty sky, I sort of left it in there. So if I do upload it, you guys will have a view of a cloudy blue sky. Very beautiful. So there's one thing I haven't mentioned so far, and that is the type of bike that I ride. I have a Chinese bike. I have a Venom X22R Max. And of course, if anybody chooses to watch my video, you guys may see some comments about why did I get a Chinese bike? They're a bunch of crap, they're no good, they won't last 6 months, you know. If something does go wrong, you're gonna have problems finding parts. All kind of just negativity surrounding these bikes. And you know, I'm not going to advocate for any company, because whether it's a, you know, cheap Chinese company or a top tier company like, you know, the Japanese brands, they're not paying me any money. I don't get a dime. But I will say this, having a bike now, I've had this bike for 2 years. I haven't had any problems. I've done all my routine maintenances, oil changes. I do my T-clocks, you know, my pre-ignitions. I do everything within my power to ensure that when I get on this bike, everything is working like it's supposed to be. Tire pressure's up, you know, throttle not sticking, checking for any loose bolts, you know, just your basic pre-checks, your routine maintenances and things like that. I try to make sure they get done. Every time I fill up, I clean my chain and lube. That's how I kind of keep myself on a routine schedule. And this bike has been doing well for me so far. Yes, it is a Chinese bike. The same bike that everybody always saying is a piece of crap. The same type of bikes that many YouTubers have bashed. Same bike, you know. You know, 2 years is not a long time, but so far I haven't had any major issues with these bikes. No loose bolts, no weldings coming loose, no starting issues, you name it. Whatever issue these bikes are normally known for, I haven't had any. But as my grandfather used to say, a broken clock is right twice a day. So it's very possible coming off the assembly line, I got the bike that just sort of passed quality control. I have no idea. I'm not going to lie to you. But I will say this, I've enjoyed it. I absolutely enjoyed it. I've absolutely enjoyed riding this bike. I've had an opportunity to ride a Kawasaki, the Cruiser, the Vulcan 650, just the base model. And man, I enjoy riding that one too. You know, it rides a lot different than this bike because it's a Cruiser. I have not been on any other type of sports bike before. Don't get me wrong, we all have that feeling to want to just go fast, you know, but like I mentioned earlier, man, I'm 40, married, responsible for several kids, and I just want to be able to ride, you know. I just want to be able to ride because I enjoy the ride. I just enjoy the ride. Like even now, I'm nowhere special. Just a bunch of cement and businesses for views, but I just enjoy the ride. The wind blowing through me, you know. Just being out here in the open. You know, seeing some of the kids, the ones that are not in school today, waving. People staring at you. I mean, I'm not a big attention seeker, but it's a thrill. It's a thrill, you know. It's a thrill. And I enjoy the thrill of riding. Sometimes I have to get up to speed if I got to pass a car or something like that. But as you know, these bikes are 250 cc's, which is about what, technically 233 cc's, which is okay. I haven't had any issues. I have gone on the freeway, but I try to avoid it if I can. If I am on there, I'm not on there for an entire, you know, a long stretch of riding. It's just a means to an end to get from one exit to another out of convenience or whatever the case may be. But I enjoy taking side streets and back roads and stuff like that and avoiding the highway. I have no issues with that. Like now. And the reason being is because I find that on these side streets, obviously, I can keep up with traffic much better. It's not a strain on my motorcycle trying to keep up with them, or even if I have to pass someone, it's not a big strain. And I just enjoy that in general, you know. One thing about this bike though, I don't know, because it's a Kawasaki clone, and based on the research I've done with the Kawasaki, sometimes people are complaining that when they're shifting, it'll go into neutral. and man, every damn time it seems like when I'm shifting, I hit that neutral, but when I'm trying to find neutral, I can't find it. But here I am driving on the highway, you know, got a car turning in front of me, shifting down. Doing my slow speed maneuvers, you know, not necessarily coming to a top. So I'm trying to make sure I'm not lazy shifting. I'm trying to give it a full up click, you know, when I'm using the shifter, but man, I've hit neutral so many times today, it's unreal. And I'm not even trying to do it. You know, I don't normally use neutral unless I made it home for the day. I'll park my bike in neutral or something like that, you know. I'll park it in neutral when I get home, but when I'm out here riding, like right now, I'm at a stoplight behind some traffic. I'm in first gear. I'm watching the car behind me. He came to a complete stop. You know, and I'm just looking out for my safety, making sure nobody running behind me. As long as they're stopping, I'm okay. I have no issues. I'm out centered where I can kind of see ahead. 2 or 3 cars in front of the vehicle that's in front of me right now for my own personal safety, but that's about it. You know, I watch a lot of videos and guys harp on safety, harp on safety, harp on safety, harp on safety. And I get it, but I think safety is like to me, I think it's a common sense thing. To me, safety is common sense, right? Even when I'm driving a vehicle, I'm always thinking about my safety. And I don't think there's nothing necessarily overly complex about safety other than, you know, just making sure that you are aware of your surroundings. Now, as I'm coming to a stop now, I check my rearview mirror. I'm seeing some cars coming up behind me, no problem at all. See some cars coming up on my right, no problem at all. You know, and once again, I'm off center, so if I have to kind of accelerate because I see a car coming up too fast, like this car coming up, but he's moving slowly. He's not coming up too fast. I can tell he's coming to a stop. That doesn't bother me. But if he was coming up really fast, I just start to inch up toward the vehicles in front of me and try to get off to the side over here so that'd be my escape route. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm kind of nervous, like talking and stuff. Like I never talked on camera, not like this. And I'm still debating about if I'm going to upload this video. Like I have no idea. So I got an open lane pattern up here. I'm not gonna lie, that makes me nervous because guys gonna try to switch lanes. So I'm gonna take this outside position over here, just in case someone on my right side to come over. And then of course, as I'm going through the intersection, I'm not playing around. I'm getting through it. All right, looking ahead, we coming to a stop. Pulling my clutch. Start shifting down. Caught the vehicle in front of me pulling up. I'm not going to move. Why? Because they give me a little space if I have to escape to my left over here. Everybody behind me has stopped, trucks behind me has stopped, so I seem to be okay. So now I can just pay attention to what's on in front of me, what's going on in front of me, and I try to mitigate open lane patterns by making sure I'm not in about a blind spot to my left or to my right, and anticipating someone coming over. So once I get past this intersection here, as we start moving, that's going to be my main goal, just making sure no one merge in front of me because I'm in a blind spot or because they don't see me. So, you know, I'm riding as if I'm invisible, so I'm gonna have to make adjustments accordingly for my own safety. And when I'm crossing the intersection, if I can, I try to be side by side with the car because I can use them as a buffer. Like there's a truck right here to my left. I'm not in his blind spot, but I am kind of using him as a buffer because if the cars don't see me, they see this truck. And that's what I'm banking on. They see this truck and they don't try to turn in front of me or anything like that. And my favorite lane to be in is this middle lane. When I'm braking, a lot of time I just tap on my back brake just to sort of let the car know, behind me know, hey, I'm about to come to a stop. Please do not run me over. Because we see them in bumper-to-bumper traffic, so I'm trying to make sure I leave enough space between me and the vehicle in front of me so I can stop, but at the same time, I'm watching that open lane pattern. Shout out to Dan the fireman, so no one merge over in front of me. You guys can't see my speedometer, so I'm going about 38 miles per hour. I think the speed limit on this road is 45, but that's okay. It seemed to be the flow of traffic. Simply going the flow of traffic right now. Traffic going 35, so I have no reason to speed, lane split, and go around all these folks. I have no reason to do that. I can, but like I mentioned earlier, it is illegal in the state of Texas. So all my driving habits that I'm trying to develop are going to consist of riding my motorcycle within the rules of the law, within reason. I'm not an idiot. If I feel like, you know, I'm in danger or something like that, I will do what I have to do, if that includes breaking the law in order to save my life. But as long as I'm not in no immediate danger, like right now, this car beside me, I feel like I'm in a blind spot, so I'm easing off the throttle just so they can get ahead of me and clear that blind spot. All right, now I feel better.